and gentlemen, let's get to this report. Page 6. Alright. Alright, it says this chapter sets out the background information concerning the allegations, initiation of the investigation, and jurisdiction. Allegations and initiation of investigation. Now, ladies and gentlemen, before we even continue there, this is an allegation. So why is it that the Prime Minister has come out and said that the Integrity Commission is targeting him? As far as I know, I hope that you guys are hearing me now. Wait a minute. Yeah, man, you guys are hearing me. As far as I know, ladies and gentlemen, people randomly, anonymously, can call into the Integrity Commission and report things, innit? That's how that works, right? So why is he making this claim that somehow the Integrity Commission is targeting him? Well, if you guys had read the first report, that report yielded certain things that is attached to know this. The fact that he owns, he's part owner of multiple companies, and some of them he used to be a part owner of or full owner of, but is no longer. So you're going to see those names pop up in this report that was in the previous report in terms of the companies. So these are allegations. Allegations. And then we're going to go to the conclusion based off the investigation. Alright? Good. So it says here on July 10, 2024, the following allegations were received. That Mr. Holness is the owner of property on which construction is being carried out, contrary to the terms of the planning approval building permit granted by the Kingston and St. Andrew Municipal Corporation, the KSAMC. Who remember in the local government election, ladies and gentlemen, how they were so adamant that they won the KSAMC? And now it's making a lot of sense, ladies and gentlemen. Apparently the KSMC, apparently the KSMC is a prize. That's where all the contracts run through and all of that, innit? So I just want to make sure that I'm seeing the chat. Okay, good. Because I can't see it on the computer. So yeah, alright, cool. Claudette, big up yourself. I see it comment. Too much land there, Jamaica. Okay. That is for the food. Alright. So who remember that? So KSAMC is very important to them, innit? Now, Mr. Holness often requests the services from his architect to draw a blueprint that will be sent to the KSAMC. However, a second blueprint will be drawn that will be used for actual construction. It is said that this was done at one of the developments in the Beverly Hills or Cherry Garden area. On July 11th, the DI undertook an unannounced visit to KSAMC to inquire as to whether Dr. Holness had directly or indirectly applied for a building permit for the development of the Beverly Hills Cherry Garden area property, right? The DI inquiries revealed that the only development in the area that Dr. Holness was in some way with a residential development in some way connected with is a residential development located at 2 Wetcliff Close, Beverly Hills, Kingston 6, St. Andrew. Right? This is somewhere. I want you guys to look at the terminology, and that this was owned by Estate Bridge. Estate Bridge, remember that name. Further inquiries were therefore made into this development and an investigation initiated. So basically they heard enough to say, let us look into this some more, right? Section 3 and Section 51 of the Integrity Commission Act empower the DI to investigate irregularities around prescribed license and other matters connected thereof. So now, this is important. Read section 33 and section 51. It tells you the power that the DI has. So when the Prime Minister and other people out there in the street want to say that the Integrity Commission is targeting the Prime Minister, no. The Integrity Commission is operating well in its powers. That's why it puts the law in front of you. Section 33 and 51 says that they are empowered to investigate irregularities. So this is what they're doing, right? Now, right here it says, the following persons were deemed to be pertinent to the investigation. Mr. Xavier Chevanez, Chief Engineering Officer of the KSAMC. Mr. Rashane Hamilton, Field Officer of the KSAMC. Mr. Orion Brown, Field Officer also of the KSAMC. Mr. Sean Martin, Field Officer of the KSAMC. Mr. Kenado Nesbet, the KNN Designs and Consultant Limited. Mr. Norman Brown, Miss CJ Anderson, and Mr. Adam Holness. Lord have mercy. Directors and shareholders of Estate Bridge. Guys, remember Estate Bridge. Now, it is alleged that this is Mr. Holness' son, Mr. Adam Holness. That's why the company name AdMat. Adam AdMat. Alright. So, now his son is being... Lord have mercy. Hey. Listen, man. And the man said the people who are targeting him. What can go? So, anyway, Mr. Donovan Williams, Company Secretary, Estate Bridge, and Dr. Holness, the legal and beneficial owner of Imperium Investments Holding Limited, which is a former shareholder of Estate Bridge. Ladies and gentlemen, more reason here, so. I want us to reason. I want you to think in the terms of an investigator. And I want you to clear your mind. Act like this is not Andrew Holness they're investigating. I want you to think about an individual that he owns a company that was a former shareholder in a company which his son is part owner of, allegedly. No, he's a director and shareholder of. It's right there. His son is a director and shareholder of a company that he was a former shareholder of. Right? So Andrew Holness is the legal beneficiary owner of Imperium Investments and Holding Limited, which was a former shareholder of Estate Bridge, which his son is a director and a shareholder of Estate Bridge. I want to know if you look upon this from a balanced view, non-bias. As an investigator looking at this information and then seeing evidence showing that the building designs that was given to the KSMC is not the actual designs that is used to build the building allegedly. Wouldn't you, as a well-thinking person, look into this? How is this targeting the individual when all of the evidence that is there gives you enough to want to investigate? This is not little bit of crumbs, people, in terms of an investigator looking on the ground and say, oh yeah, see, we see some trails of crumbs there. It's very minute. This is one big block of cheese. It's obvious. Your son is your son. And your son is the director of a company that you was a former shareholder of. So we have to investigate everything, including you. You cannot be exempt from the investigation. That wouldn't be savvy investigating. That wouldn't be intelligent investigating. Right? It's just not. So I don't want, see, I'm making this point for a reason, I don't want to hear no foolishness in my comment section from no die-hearted person. We're going to think logically here. If this was Mark Golding, you guys would have a field day. You would have talk about all my white and in British and all my rap from the slave them, and all just feel like he can do what he want to do. You guys would do all of this. But because you're biased and some of you are being paid and you're part of the corruption, allegedly, when you come in a people comment section and I do the most, I start block you know. Yeah man, that me I go do. Anyway, that is the first part. I want to go to the conclusion now, because I'm not going through the entire document. Nope. The other part, the conclusion is very, very let me see. Page 3, the conclusion. I which page again? 47. 47. Alright. Let's go to 47. So that is what caused the investigation. The other details in the middle is the actual investigation. Alright? Now here's the conclusion. This chapter outlines the conclusion drawn by the DI. The DI concludes that the requisite planning approval and building permit requires for the construction of a development consisting of 4 2-bedroom units located in Beverly Hills, Kingston 6, were properly issued by the KSMC to Estate Bridge. So the requisite planning approval was issued properly. This was July 12th, alright? The DI finds that the terms and conditions of the building permit, which was issued by the KSMC for development, were breached. That means the original plans were not used, ladies and gentlemen. And them have pictures of it too. Them have pictures. It's all over the internet. I don't know if it's in this document, but them have pictures. Anissa, if you're still here, Barbara, what's up? Anissa, if you're still here, tell me which video you show the pictures them. See? Because I know say you have it up. So we can show people them. Now, it says here, the DI conclusion is premised on the fact that at the time the DI's first inspection, the reference development consists of 4 4-bedroom townhouses instead of 4 2-bedroom townhouses. So them double the amount of rooms if they in the townhouses. Alright, as approved by the KSMC, them go away from the approval. Right? The DI finds that in failing to comply with the terms and conditions of the building permit, right, Section 17(1) of the Building Act was breached. These are the law now, people. The DI concludes that the inconsistent representation made by Messrs. Brown and Nesbitt in respect of the layout and composition of the development were blatant attempts to mislead the commissioner. This is the conclusion, you know. Now, the DI's conclusion is premised on the following. This is the reason why he's concluded it. Mr. Brown indicated in the witness statement, which he signed, in respect of which he made a declaration of truth on December 4th, 2023. As long as I investigate this, that the development consists of 4. You know, say it consists of 4 4-bedroom townhouses. This statement made at the time when the DI was not investigating any breaches. Wow! So him admits it consists of 4-bedroom townhouses, and there was not an investigation on any breaches. So this was him under oath telling them what the houses contain of. This is interesting, right? So there was no investigation on any breaches of the building permit issued to the Estate Bridge by the KSMC, and under circumstances where Mr. Brown was not a suspect. So he was not a suspect at the time and admitted this. Mr. Brown later made contrary representation in a judge's rule interview convened October 31st, almost 1 year later, after he had been informed that the DI was investigating alleged breaches of the Building Act, the reference permit, and that he was a suspect. People, you see that? Only see that? Last year, December 4th, him said, a 4-bedroom townhouses now October 31st in front of a judge, right? He must say he must say something different. He must say something contrary. Now that tell you everything we need to know right there, so. Mr. Nesbitt what? Contemporaneous. A first time I see that word, people. Wanna bear with me. I know we need to look up that word, eh? Yeah, you know we love Google, you know. Cheese and peas. Contemporaneous meaning. Come on for that. Contemporaneous meaning. It means existing at or occurring at the same period of time. Okay. Contemporaneous. Alright. Mr. Nesbitt, contemporaneous verbal statement. Oh wow, I see how that works. He had two statements existing at the same time, but two of them contrary. That's crazy. I learned something. And I know somebody else learned something too. Mr. Nesbitt, contemporaneous verbal statement on DI's investigators on July 12th that they were departures from the building permit issued by the KSMC and that efforts were being made to remedy the breaches. He later denied making this statement. Mighty God. The DI inspection on July 12 revealed that the development as constructed consists of 4 4-bedroom townhouses. The DI findings are consistent with Mr. Brown's indication on December 4th as the number of bedrooms contained in the development. Right? The DI therefore further concludes that the breaches identified on the building permit on the part of Estate Bridge were deliberate. Ladies and gentlemen, members say Andrew Holness' son is a director of Estate Bridge, you know. Mighty God of Daniel. Now, so the DI conclusion is made on the basis that at least one director, Mr. Norman Brown, had knowledge prior to December 4th. When he gave a statement to the commission that the development consists of 4 4-bedroom townhouses. So this a man here, boy, you know when I come back to 49, hold on the people. Mr. Brown, hold on there. We need reference. Hold on the people, we need reference. Mr. Norman Brown is a... Let me see if there's any other Brown. You have a Brown that is a... Mr. Kennard Nesbitt. More find out one determine which Brown is. Is it Orion Brown or Norman Brown? Let's go back to page 49. So Norman Brown is a director and a shareholder of Estate Bridge. Orion Brown is a field officer for the KSMC. Alright, let's go to 49. Let's go back to this. It says here that Mr. Norman Brown. Oh, Norman Brown is the director and shareholder. So he's the one that said it's a 4x4. So okay, it is to be noted. So they must say basically, them sure say him did know prior to December 4th. Based off his own statement that it's a 4 4-bedroom townhouses. Plus them have pictures. Mighty God. It is to be noted that Mr. Brown himself stated that he has a supervisory function in relation to the development. And Ms. Anderson indicated that Mr. Brown is the director that is generally responsible for Estate Bridge business operations. Fall guy. Can somebody say fall guy? Say fall guy. The DI also finds that Mr. Nesbitt either conspired with or aided and abetted the directors of Estate Bridge. Lord of mercy. Wait. Hold up. Wait, what? The DI also finds that Mr. Nesbitt either conspired with or aided and abetted the directors of Estate Bridge, the directors, in the commission of forging, breach, and is thereby equally liable for said breach. Mighty God. But tired of the green people, them. No, sir. The DI conclusion is premised on the fact that by virtue of Mr. Nesbitt's role as contractor, it is reasonable to infer that he must have been cognizant. You know, so I never know say I said that word they spell. But now I'm going to run and I always hear that word, you know, cognizant. It's a Z? Wow, I thought it was an S. Cognizant of the terms and conditions of the permit granted by the KSMC. Furthermore, Mr. Nesbitt's company is party to the construction contract with Estate Bridge, which requires him as contractor to construct the development in accordance with the building permit. And in his statement dated October 16, 2024, Mr. Nesbitt indicated that I designed the buildings plan for the development for submissions to the KSAMC. Each unit would consist of 4 habitable rooms, a pool on the split level, 4 bedrooms, a laundry and storage area. Wow, this was October. Lord have mercy. Hello. The DI concludes that the KSMC failed in their duty to ensure compliance. So the KSAMC, which was run by the JLP at the time, people more don't follow this now. In a February or March, we had a local government election where we had a new mayor that is represented by the PMP. This all happened under the JLP. This thing right here all happened under the JLP. This was December 4, 2023, JLP. The DI concludes that they failed in their duty to comply to ensure compliance with the terms and conditions of the building permit issued to Estate Bridge for the development, though their paperwork relating to the 3 inspections they conducted suggested that the development was compliant at all stages. The DI inspection of the development belay this. What is this? Is that picture? Alright. So, conclusion, recommendation. Should I go to recommendations? How long is recommendations? Should I? I should. Why not go all the way, right? This chapter outlines the DI recommendation having regards to the findings. The DI recommends that the Chief Executive Officer of the KSMC implements additional measures to ensure adherence to provisions outlined in Section 33 and 34 of the Building Act in relation to its inspection. Mr. Genesis. In relation to its inspection and post-permit monitoring responsibilities or functions. The DI's recommendation that the KSMC conducts an administrative review of its existing compliance regime with respect to the building permits issued by that entity. This review should include a capacity assessment, both of the adequacy of the human resource available to the KSMC. That means, do they have enough staff? Do they have the right people in place, the qualified people in place to do the job? The competent people with integrity, right? So the human resource available to the KSMC for post-permit monitoring of building developments within the municipality's jurisdiction, as well as the technical competencies of the officer. See? Technical competencies of the officer responsible for enforcement and compliance. Serious conditions consideration should be given to ensure that the relevant processes are corruption proof. When you hear that? The man them want a system in place that is corruption proof. What does that say then? Obviously, it is not corruption proof, because if it was, what has happened would not have happened. You understand what I'm saying? It wouldn't have happened, ladies and gentlemen. It would not. Given the breach identified in respect to development, the DI recommendation recommends that the KSMC make their own assessment of same and thereafter take actions as necessary and appropriate to achieve compliance with the Building Act. Now, this is going to be possible. You know why? Because the PMP is running the KSMC now. So they will be able, ladies and gentlemen, to make their own assessment as to what needs to be done right now with this situation. Yeah. Let's move forward. Says, notwithstanding Dr. Holness' connection to the development in question, having regards to the fact that the issues identified in this matter are similar to those identified by the DI in one of his investigation reports entitled Report of Investigating Concerned Allegation of Irregularities in Approved Processes, which resulted in the construction of a residential development located at number 11 Claremont Drive, Kingston 6, contrary to inter alia the permits issued by the KSMC and NEPA and the Building Act and NEPA. NEPA, Wagwan Zaduit, Alman, Miss ER salute. NEPA, ladies and gentlemen, is under the Prime Minister's, in the Prime Minister's office. Wow. Wow. These are serious allegations. The DI reiterates the recommendations made generally in that report. In particular, the DI highlights the following recommendations from reference report. See paragraph 7.18 thereof. The Most Honorable Prime Minister Holness and the Honorable Local Government and Communication Development, in light of the breach found herein and the need to ensure that development occurs within the built environment in a sustainable manner, the DI recommends the introduction of legislation which impose pecuniary penalties on developers who willfully violate the building and development permits for financial gain. I agree with that. That's a good recommendation. What say you people in the chat? What say you? Do you think that is a good recommendation, ladies and gentlemen, to have penalties, prison time, more particularly profits attributable to breaches should be forfeited additionally. Also, the money that they would gain from these breaches, they should lose the money. Wow, I like that. You have hurt them. You have to get them where it hurts. Developers should also face debarment in respect. So your license will be taken away so that they cannot do any more development. I like that. I absolutely like that. What do you say? In respect of planning and development approval for appropriate time period post breach. Oh, so them are gonna lock them down from doing anything else at that time until further notice, I believe. Okay. Required collaboration and coordination between the register of titles, local authorities, and germane entities in a way which ensures that the titles are not issued for developments which are constructed in breach of planning, building, and development permits. So if I get the police them involved, there needs to be a body that deals with that, enforces that. I like that. 7.5 says, additionally, the DI. One second, my people. Give me a second. Alright, I'm back. It says, additionally, the DI would ordinarily refer this matter to the Director of Public Prosecution. However, given the ruling of the DPP in the matter mentioned at paragraph 7.4 above, hereafter referred to as the Claremont matter, Lord have mercy, hello? The Claremont matter, the DI recommends that this report be referred to the KSMC for appropriate action in a ruling by the DPP dated January 10, 2024. So the KSMC is the one that has to deal with this, right? That are the recommendation. It is considered view of the Office of the Director of Public Prosecution that, oh, that's the ruling. I guess this is the ruling. All right. So this is the ruling, guys. I'm not gonna read it. Well, the matter referred to the Kingston. Blah 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 blah. See right there, section 78. Right. Let's just scroll through this. All right. Now that is proof. The chairman, the Claremont matter was referred to the DPP after consultation with the Director of Corruption Prosecution, who indicated that her prosecutorial remit does not extend such matters. So the DPP should not have the power to do that. That's basically what that is saying, ladies and gentlemen. There you have it. That is the actual document, ladies and action wagwan. That is the actual, well, I didn't go into the detail of the investigation, but you saw what we did, right? You saw what we went through. And I think it's necessary for people to look through that, because at the end of the day, thank you. At the end of the day, it's alarming to me that people are making excuses for this man. I mean, his son is involved in this. He's a director. That's very, very important to know. You understand what I'm saying? This is not a fluff case. It's not a 9-day wonder, ladies and gentlemen. And I think that's what they would want you to believe, innit? They would want you to believe that, no. This is quite serious. It's quite serious. But let me know what you think about that. If you guys haven't read it, show me some love. Hit up the like button. I went through that. Odette, what's going on? Odette said the PM make me cry. Lord have mercy. Don't make him get too emotional, me dear. Pray, put up a joy and cry and for Jesus. Nobody make and Jonas get in that state there. Anyway, let me know what you think about that. No.